Hi everybody, it's Eric Murray from the sugarhuddle.com. I've decided this week I'm going to do a video for the college football pick 6 betting lines and picks. This is week 8. Last couple weeks have been a little bit rough for me. Right now I'm 15-21 against the spread and 17-19 as far as picking overall winners. I was doing real well the first couple weeks and I kind of tailed off lately. You know, there's not really a ton of real great games this week. There's a few that I picked out, but kind of finding 6 was hard because I didn't want to do the same teams over and over again, and there's a few teams in this that I've already done a couple of times. So anyways, I'm just going to run down the line and talk about these games that I picked and what I've decided to do with each pick. So, you know, first of all, number 16, NC State. They're on the road at number 3, Clemson. Clemson, 17.5 point favorite. That game starts at 3:30. I actually like NC State to upset them 28-27. I think NC State, you know, Ryan Finley, a lot of people like him as a promising NFL quarterback prospect, somebody who could possibly be a first rounder. So I'm going to say that they actually go on the road and they beat Clemson. You know, it wouldn't be unheard of. You know, we've seen it happen before at Clemson. I just think that, you know what, Clemson's a little bit of a flawed team right now. Trevor Lawrence, you know, he had gotten banged up a little while back, and I don't know. I just Clemson it's kind of similar to when they won the national title 2 years ago in 2016, where they didn't, you know, even with Deshaun Watson and everything else, they didn't really play that great until really after the Pitt loss, and that was, you know, 2/3 of the way into the season. We're kind of approaching that same point, so I could see Clemson getting that loss, getting it out of the way, and then maybe they go on a run the rest of the way and don't lose again. So I'm actually going to go NC State to win 28-27. I think, you know, they're undefeated. This is really their first real big test. Obviously, it's, you could argue, the first real big challenge for Clemson as well, but I'm going to say NC State finds a way to get it done. I just think that Clemson's a little bit of a flawed team right now. You saw it when they were at home against Syracuse. There's just something a little bit off about them, and I think it's mainly, you know, offensively. Travis Etienne, you know, he could be a Heisman contender. You know, we saw what he did against Syracuse, but I'm not sure if him alone will beat NC State because NC State's a better team than Syracuse. So I think Finley's going to have a real big day, and I think that'll be enough to find a way to put together a game-winning drive at the end, trailing by 6. And they score, kick the extra point, go ahead touchdown late in the game and win it. So I think NC State, they're a pretty darn good-looking football team and the best that Clemson's seen so far. And I just, you know, I don't know, it's just kind of a gut feeling. I kind of feel like NC State just has something for them, and I'm not sure that Clemson is really where they need to be right now. Like I said, maybe in a month from now, a couple months from now, they'll be a much better football team. But at the moment, they're just a little bit off. Defensive line isn't quite as dominant as everybody expected it to be with all those potential first or even second round, you know, draft picks at the very least. And then, you know, the game that a lot of people think is the game of the weekend, I picked it slightly, number 2. Of course, Michigan State. Michigan's ranked 6th. Michigan State, number 24. Michigan State, or Michigan, I should say, is a touchdown favorite. My adjusted line would make them 7.5. I think Michigan State gets it done. I see yet another upset. I see them winning 19-16. I know I picked against Michigan last time. It didn't work out too well, but, you know, as in I think that was last week when they killed Wisconsin. But I don't know. I'm still not completely buying the Michigan hype. Got nothing against Michigan. You got nothing against Harbaugh, but you know, when you're 1-5 against your 2 biggest rivals, as in Michigan State and Ohio State, not too encouraging. And yeah, I know one of Michigan State's wins was a total fluke. The you know, blocked punt at the end of the game returned for the touchdown from MSU a few years ago. But yeah, Brian Lewerke, I mean, he surprised me. You know, he's just kind of a middle of the road game manager type quarterback for Michigan State. But he's really, really impressed me the way he's played the last couple of weeks. He hasn't been amazing by any means, but he's really, really good. I liked how he led that game-winning drive against Penn State. And, you know, Michigan State has a strong defense. Remember, they have the number 1 run defense in the country. And Michigan, even with Shea Patterson, they're still a team that likes to run a lot. And I just kind of think that Michigan State's going to have something for them on the ground. Michigan State, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, has won 8 of the last 11. So I think Michigan State's going to find a way to get it done. 1916 at home. So that game's about to start here at noon, very, very soon here. Then I did another Oregon game. I've picked against them twice, and this time I'm not going to do that. Number 12 Oregon, they're on the road at number 25 Washington State. Washington State is a field goal favorite, and if you do my adjusted line, it would become 3.5. But either way, I think Oregon wins in a shootout. You know, Washington State, kind of the same Washington State we're used to seeing. They can put up points, but can't really stop a whole lot of people. You know, saw it firsthand when they played USC, had their chances in that game. I think they're having a whole lot of trouble against Justin Herbert, and I know, you know, his last couple big games are at home. This one's on the road. The Palouse at night, very, very, very difficult place to play, but I actually think Oregon finds a way to get it done. I just think Oregon, all around, they're a little bit of a better football team. They've got a lot of confidence. They've got a lot of momentum going in this one. They know what they're getting themselves into. And I think Herbert, you know, he knows that he's by far the top guy. So I think he's going to go out there and play exceptionally well, 42-35. Number 9, Oklahoma, 8-point favorite at TCU. Another game about to start at noon. And, of course, the adjusted line becomes 8.5. I think Oklahoma covers, and I think they beat TCU 31-21. You know, Oklahoma coming off the loss to Texas. They haven't lost 2 in a row since '99 when Stoops was the coach. I think they're going to find a way to get it done. You know, Sean Robinson's really not that impressive of a quarterback. I've seen him play a couple times now for TCU. Not that great. I think Kyler Murray and company bounce back. And mainly I think the defense bounces back and they have a couple of big takeaways. Defense is still going to be a problem for them going forward, but I like Oklahoma enough to say that they not only obviously win, but they also cover. Big opportunity for TCU, but I just think Oklahoma's a little bit too much for them. And like I said, I was having trouble trying to find games. I could have thrown in LSU again. They're playing Mississippi State, but I wasn't really feeling that game. There were a couple other decent games, but decided to go a little bit random these last couple. Number 1, Alabama, they're at Tennessee. This line is the actual line, not an adjusted, added half-point line like I do. This one is a 28.5-point favorite for Alabama. Tennessee's coming off that huge win at Auburn. Did a great job in that game. Yeah, Jeremy Pruitt, obviously the former Alabama defensive coordinator. Alabama, of course, has been killing everybody, steamrolling everybody. Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback, of course, I think he's the Heisman favorite right now. He's a guy that, of course, just got banged up in the last game against Missouri. You know, I haven't really heard for sure if he's going to play or start in this one. It's a 3:30 start time. If he's 100%, Alabama's got a chance to cover this spread, but I think even if he's, you know, playing and healthy enough, I think Tennessee finds a way to cover. And if Jalen Hurts is playing, then this could be a really close game. I'm going to say Alabama does cover, but I'm going to say Tennessee covers, but I'm going to say Alabama still finds a way to pull away. I think this will be about a 7-point game for 3 quarters, and then I think the 4th quarter, that's when Alabama really turns it on. I'm going to say 38-17 Alabama, and I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's still a 3-touchdown game, but it's going to be a close game, and then I think Tennessee's just going to screw up a little bit in the 4th quarter. I think the inexperience in playing Alabama, who, you know, one pass play, one run play, and all of a sudden, you know, they're kicking your butt. So I'm going to say Tennessee covers, but I'm going to say Alabama finds a way to still win big, especially in the 4th quarter. I just think they're going to overpower them. And the last one, you know, I briefly went to Kent State before I transferred to Youngstown State, where I graduated from. They're at home, 3:30. They're playing their arch rival Akron. Akron, my adjusted line, they're a 5.5-point favorite, which means they're a 5-point favorite. I just do that so that there's no pushes, no ties. Don't really know a whole lot about either one of these teams, but you know, I think I'm going to go with Kent State on this one. I think I'm going to go with one of my former schools. Really no reason for it. I just decided to pick this game for the hell of it. You know, Kent has a lot of trouble with Akron, obviously, but I don't know, just feeling golden flashes. So I'm going to say Kent wins that, and I'm going to say Akron covers. I'm going to say Kent drives down the field and kicks a game-winning field goal. I'm going to say 24-23 Kent State. So those are my picks, college football pick 6, betting lines and picks for week 8. I'm also going to do a wrap-up video, maybe a more in-depth video. This was kind of a last-minute thing. I'm kind of behind while I'm moving. So anyways, look for that, and I'll see you again soon.